Now, this illustration deals with bonding for over 250 volts in accordance with 250.97. So basically speaking, with most electricians, these are circuits of 277, 480 volt. Now, notice in the illustration now, we're not serviced. We have an overcurrent device ahead of the conductors feeding this panel board. So we have an equipment bonding jumper that's bonding the raceway and the fittings into the grounded bar that is bonded to the enclosure. And then we have a neutral coming in that's isolated there in accordance with 408.40 of the code. Now notice it's a 480, 277 volt system. So we can use threaded hubs in accordance with 250.97. We can use threadless fittings, couplings, and connectors such as set screw compression. We can also bond around punched out rings only if it's 277, 480. Now if it's 120, 208, 120, 240, 120 volt systems, you don't have to bond around them punched out rings with that they become a problem. Some punched out rings for, say, a square box, they're self-bonding. Then you wouldn't have to bond around those either. So you'd want to check that. So be sure that you review 250.97 with this exception that gives you these rules along with 250.97. And then, of course, the last part of it and the exception to 250.97, I could use listed self-bonding lock nuts, self-bonding bushings, and so forth, as illustrated here, is same as you could do in 250.92B4 supply. So notice we tell you also see 250.142B right beneath the service equipment there. When we reviewed 250.92B, then notice we referred you to 250.142A. So this figure 16-100 is dealing with bonding for over 250 volts on the load side, meaning there's an overcurrent device ahead of your conductors feeding your equipment in accordance with 250.97.